Switch to Xfinity and get one line of unlimited mobile and home internet together for $50 a month for 12 months. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit your local Xfinity store today. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. New Connect Internet customers only on one-year contract. Internet included for 12 months. New Xfinity mobile account required. Wireless billing and a stored bank account. After 12 months, regular rates apply. Xfinity postpaid internet required for Xfinity mobile. Additional devices extra and reduced speeds after 20 gigabytes of data usage. Offer ends 12/21/22. When the holidays come around and the snow begins to fall, we appreciate the beauty of the Michigan winter and the fun of holiday instants with Michigan Lumber. There's Tinseltown Merry Money times 12 cashing through the snow and the perfect gift with top prizes up to $500,000. And for an even happier holiday, play new $6 million jackpot with over $300 million in total prizes. Light up the season. Play in-store and online at MichiganLottery.com. Knowing the limits is always the best bet.
When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Odyssey is your choice for all the audio that matters to you. Download the Odyssey app today. Powered by Gowling Auto Brew. Experience the Gowling difference at Gowling.com. 97 won the ticket and the Bet 1270. Your home for the NFL on Westwood One. The Seattle Seahawks host the San Francisco 49ers. Thursday night football. Pre-game at 7:30 on the Bet 1270. Detroit. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio. Here's Stoney and Jansen. 248-539-9797. Dan Campbell at 7:50. Some ticket text on the line. Our defense can even get better, I think. The D-line is so young. It's Max. The Lions get into the playoffs, and I think there's a decent chance. There's a really good chance they play Minnesota. Now, people always say, who do you want to play? If they play Minnesota, I'd like their chance in Minnesota. So they should have beaten them twice. Yep. Would it be nice if in terms of same old Lions became positive instead of negative every 3 years and years? Yep, same old Lions. In the clutch game of the league, that would be unbelievable. I wouldn't want that. Like, it's got to be a different thing. I only think negative. That would take years to get over. And the Patriots dynasty. Everyone talking about Goff keeping his position. What about Anzalone? Do we need a high linebacker draft next year? You need defense. Defense is still not that good. But better. You know, I mean, I still think yes.
All right, jobs opened up.
Bucks has been good.
Free rub for this?
Jalen Carter. Correct. There's some other options where you could have
First Street.
the depth and talent up front, and especially at even at linebacker.
Yeah, I figured.
The secondary to me is the biggest.
Yeah, I figured because we were going to do it last night, so I decided to do Fairway Ridge.
We act like local talk shows. They usually don't reference silly things like SOL or non-existing person. Thank you. Yes,
So I was smart.
yeah. Mike and Sterling Heights are 97 on the ticket.
So that means I get a free rob.
Yeah.
Man, I've been watching the Lions a little bit, man. I remember back to another one Bites the Dust. And one thing that I noticed, because I got a comment and then a question. Back in that 18, man, when Billy Sims came, Billy Sims was a hell of a leader. Just the velocity that he played, it was contagious, man, across the whole city. It just was contagious. I glance back to the 90s. I don't think they had great leadership. They had great players. Even the last few years, I don't think they had a leader. But when you have a coach like the coach they have now, when you got a player like Jackson stepping up and saying things, I think this team, one, has solid leadership. I do think that defense, that offense, is so balanced, man, that it's going to be tough for teams. My only concern, because I love the way they're playing, is that defensively, those offenses, man, once you get to the playoffs, they'll be able to team against our team. So that linebacker position and in that back line, we got some holes. But with this draft coming up, man, I'm so excited for next year, man. So the way the quarterback is playing, if we focus on defense,
Yep.
get that
Hutchinson.
a good linebacker, and if somebody is safety another corner, this team with the way the offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and coach and manager are all in sync. I haven't seen a Lions team like this in a long. Matter of fact, I've never
page, which is definitely unique. It used to be
All right, all punched in.
At the facility. It doesn't seem to be that way now. That's part of cleansing the organization, which Sheila probably deserves some credit.
A lot of credit for.
Yes.
And I mean, what was the big question when Dan Campbell was hired first, and then you've got Brad Holmes, and you throw in a number of other decision makers, like, okay, who's making the decisions? That was the big question. Like, what's the power structure? Who holds, who makes the ultimate decision? Throw Rod Wood in there. And I think all of this,
No, that's not.
no, I know, but I understand that. But that was
Okay.
2 years ago.
Yeah, you're right.
That was the conversation we were having.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And-
Next,
and
we're going
Brad
to-
Campbell being hired first, and then Brad Holmes next. Like, who is actually pulling the strings?
Right.
And for somebody to call in, and for us to be able to see that, hey, things are operating with efficiency,
Right.
and they're actually showing progress. I think it answers that question. Does it really matter that we know the answer as long as it's all working?
Right. He's done a good job in doing all the business stuff and helping with the vibe and all that kind of stuff. I don't want to, but the football stuff, that's not his expertise.
I agree, but 2 years ago,
I know, it's a big question. People were worried. Kind of like when Tom Milan was, Tom Milan really the pseudo general manager, one side of the contract.
I think things are really different. Well,
Oh, yeah.
Tom Milan was involved. I still think Martin Mayhew had the final say in player decisions.
Well, Milan was not, all Milan was salary cap stuff. He had no decision making on the field stuff. It's like the guy. No, there's no way.
I think he had a voice that was heard. I don't think he made it, but I think Rod Wood is a finance guy.
Well,
What I-
the guy who does it now, the cap is Dinson, right? Like Dinson.
yes, but my whole point, and I don't want us to get off the rails,
I know.
was when we have somebody call in and say that they like the structure.
Yes.
That was the essence of what Mike was calling in to say, that he likes the structure.
Everybody on the same page.
On the same page. And when Sheila blew things up, and we're going to go new GM, we're going to go new coach, we're doing everything different, that was the big question. Spielman, how much does he have say? And honestly, it doesn't matter right now that we would know, and then it really doesn't matter at all that we would ever know.
Right.
The fact of the matter is, things are operating well now. And they've got to find a way, and this is the question that we posed just a couple of minutes ago. What is the win total in the last 4 games that you need to see to keep this good feeling going?
I think you guys, if they split, which won't get them in the playoffs, I think you you'll take a deep breath, depending on how they lose those games, those two, and say, you know what, we won 8 games, we had a pretty good season.
I'm not going to be disappointed if they miss the playoffs.
No.
I think it would be awesome for them to do
Right.
it. And I think there's a chance. I just have a respect for how difficult it is in this league to win 9 out of 10 games.
Yeah.
And that's what it's probably going to, we're getting to 9 wins. There's more of a chance than there was last week.
Yes.
It's still an awfully tall task. You need a lot of help, okay? Maybe for once we get the help.
Yeah.
Maybe one time this team gets lucky and things happen. Because whether the Lions are 9-8 or 10-7, I do think they're dangerous if they get in. I think if they do, I think people are right. If they're 9-8, they probably won't play Minnesota. If they're 10-7, they probably will. I think that game would be a pick'em right now.
Probably. Well,
do.
if it was in Minnesota would be a little bit of a
I don't
favorite.
know about
Good
that.
point to have.
It may open that way. I think it becomes a pick'em. I think the public would bet on the Lions.
I think, here's some ticket text. I think Dan Campbell's teams will always seem like they're playing with house money with a chip on their shoulders. Imagine Will Anderson opposite of Hutch. Our defense could get dangerous. Unfortunately, I don't think you're going to get a chance to take Will Anderson. I think the Rams are going to win another game.
That's why I still, deep down, more than anything that I want, I would rather get that number 2 pick.
Love the National Pub. This is exactly what we all hope for. 7-8 wins in the playoff combo and some relevancy. This is growth, tangible growth in player development, drafting, and coaching. Not ready to give them keys to the city, but Holmes and Campbell are moving the franchise forward with long-term stability in mind. Love it. Build the defense and make a serious run next year. Rick from Plymouth.
Yeah.
I totally agree. That's what they're doing. And if they can get in this year, that is house money. All right, 248-539-9797.
WXYT FM and WXYT HD1 Detroit. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Sports headlines. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio. This is 97.1 The Ticket.
We're brought to you by Michigan Hair Restoration. The Detroit Pistons will be without Cade Cunningham for the rest of the season. Their 2021 first overall pick having surgery on his left shin. He's been trying to rehab it since November 9th when he last played. Took the last month to make up his mind. He has decided on having surgery. He's expected to be back and fully recovered before training camp next year. In 12 games, he's averaged nearly 20 points a game. Pistons at 7-22 currently have the worst record in the NBA. Red Wing hockey tonight right here on 97.1 The Ticket at home against 15-6-6 Carolina. It begins just after 7 p.m. Wings have dropped 2 in a row. Monday Night Football, the Cardinals lose quarterback Kyler Murray to a reported suspected torn ACL, and New England beats Arizona 27-13. At the Ticket Update Desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or Odyssey.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
The telephone number 248-539-9797. Thank you very much, Jeff. We're talking about the Detroit Lions and maybe a place that people want to go play for. But first, let's go through some ticket texts. We should change SOL to BNL. Brand new Lions. There you go. All season when I set my running backs for fantasy, if the running backs were going against the Lions would be great to tell people they're an easy matchup. Now they're red. Oh, green on the chart. Now they're red to reflect they're a difficult matchup. This team is peaking. Hopefully not too little, too late. It's hard to play playoff football. Can't lose for this amount of time. So I think they will either come up short or be eliminated quickly. But very positive signs all around. That's Pete in Sterling Heights. I think Johnson is primarily functioning as the head coach, and Campbell is now the front man and motivator, and I'm okay with it. Red Johnson's not doing anything on defense, so he's not the head coach. That's a long text. Sewell, McNeil, St. Brown, Jacobs, Jamison Williams, Hutch, Haskell, Joseph, Rodriguez, Houston. Holmes draft picks in only 2 years. That's incredible.
And that's why we sit here and we hope that the Rams continue to their implosion and they get to 3 or possibly 2 so that we can get a sure thing. What we think is a sure thing in the draft. There are no sure things. But I'm not going to lose any sleep or much energy, in that realm simply because whether Brad Holmes picks number 2 overall or number 7 overall, or 32, 35, whatever it is, I'm beginning to get not blind faith, but a lot of faith that he's going to pick somebody that will contribute and be someone that is effective in the draft.
Yep, he's been great. Screw all the pundits around the league. Can we talk about how much fun Dan Miller has been having calling these games? With all the crap he's been through over the years, hearing the passion and emotion come through has been my favorite part of the season. There's the shotgun snap to Fields. He's back. Fields looking. Fields pressing. Fields hit from behind. He's going down. No, he stayed up. Fields, no, he's going down. Get him down. Get him down. Sacked. 3 tries. 3rd time was the charm. Julian Okwara finally took him down. Yeah.
If you haven't seen the video of that either, you've got to watch that. It is
yesterday
so cool.
we asked what moment did this change this year, and I had said I thought it was when Sheila came out and actually gave the vote of confidence when they were 1-6. There was a lot of heat starting to come, and that they were committed to what they were doing. And I actually still think that getting the stop at the Packer game at the end, the Lions always blow it at the end
with that quarterback.
But I do think that moment was pretty critical too, because they had not won a road game, and I
Yeah.
kept saying that's a flag for me that you can't. Teams win on the road in this league, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And to do that and to hear they never get the guy down. You know what happens there? Justin Fields gets away and goes for,
Yeah.
40 yards, and they get in the field goal range and win the game. It's like it's almost like it's a slaying of SOL in some ways. The ways that they used to lose. Like people were saying the other day to me, like, oh, the kick's going to get blocked.
Yeah.
By Badgley, he's going to miss, and they're going to end up blowing those things aren't happening anymore.
No, they're not. And so on the heels of what you just said about, hey, going on the road and getting that win, and the fact that might be, you look back on the season, it might be the time where things actually turned around. You got 3 or 4 on the road to get into the playoffs. Your thoughts on being able to win, whether it's in Carolina, it's in the Meadowlands, it's in Lambeau.
Well, I think, look, root for the Packers to lose, okay? So that there's a chance they don't play Rodgers then. The Green Bay Packers could be 8-8 going into that game, and they might be in the mix.
But you need him to beat the Rams this week.
Right. Well, look, it's
That's 22.
you don't want Rodgers to play that game. That's going to be a difficult game up there, and you don't know what kind of weather you're going to get. The Lions are offensive line-wise are built to run the football in a snow game. I'm worried about this Jets game, and it's been the one. The Buffalo Bills lost at the Jets this year.
Yeah.
Again, you're asking a team to win 9 out of 10 games. I don't think anybody's done that in the league this year. I'm pretty confident they have.
Well,
Philly
Philly
has
has,
one game.
yeah, they've won 12 of 13.
But I don't think they won 9 out of.
They
Well, I
would've
guess they
had
did.
to.
Yeah, they would have had to. Yeah, I'm thinking about when their loss was. Math on the fly. Okay, so
Believe
they
me,
would have had to.
Yeah.
Yes.
my math has been my
Yeah.
abacus doesn't usually work very well either. You're allowed, but talking about the future here. I mean, everybody's talking about the draft. They do have a pretty favorable salary cap situation heading into the offseason too, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you think about it, there's not a lot of dead cap space or dead cap hits this year. They've cleaned the cap room. So you don't have to go into it going, okay, well, we're going to have to pay this amount of money and still get nothing from it, from guys that we've cut, we've traded, we've released. I mean, all of that stuff is gone. And now you're looking at being able to go out in free agency, which is obviously going to happen before the draft. And if you go out and you sign a linebacker, and I'm going to use Roquan Smith because he's the biggest name out there. He's with Baltimore right now. He hasn't been, there's no extension. You go out there and you sign him, well, then it changes what you're looking for in the draft. Maybe not the first round,
Right.
but second, third, fourth rounds. It changes those things. And maybe you go out and you sign, a big-time safety or corner to go opposite Jeff Okudah. And again, you could go with that second first-round pick, the one that the Lions have, I believe, is at 15 right now, and say, well, we want to go out and get a corner to go opposite Jeff Okudah. But if you sign somebody in free agency, now all of a sudden you have that draft asset that you don't have to spend on it. And it all comes back to the way that Brad Holmes has managed the salary cap from the moment that he has taken over. And it starts with the trade, what they've done. And I know there was a lot of people that didn't like them extending Jared Goff at that time. Well, it's created a very cap-friendly situation coming up in February and March.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems right now, because of the environment here, and maybe in a weird way, Hard Knocks showed it. Maybe all the videos of them in the locker room when they do win has showed it. But people might want to come play here like C.J. Moore, right?
Well, yeah, C.J. Moore is a guy that, he's not going to be anybody that somebody really covets, right? He's not a top-line free agent. When he was released, it wasn't like people were beating down the door to pick up C.J. Moore. He did have some calls, but when you hear him talk, and it's C.J. Moore, if anybody if it doesn't ring a bell, think fake punt.
Yes.
All right? And he wanted to be back in Detroit because, and he's talked about this, he talked about it after the game, because of the culture in the locker room and the players in the locker room truly believe in what Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes and the Fords are doing with this organization and the direction it's going. So he wanted to come back to Detroit given the opportunity.
Here's his quote: "The faith and the belief they have in us and what we're building here, Coach Dan and Brad, they're building something so special, and it's something I want to be a part of. That's really why I came back. You could feel it last year. We ended the season well, and this season didn't start off too well, but we've known it's been here, and it's showing." I mean, you're a former player. How much, because players talk to your friends around the league, how much does this help?
Well, there's two things that help. The first one and most important is winning.
Yes.
And when you win, you will attract other free agents because guys, whether they're in the last couple of years of the prime of their career, they want to go contribute to a championship. The other one is you want to go somewhere where you know that you want to go to work every single day. What NFL players do, and what most people do, all right, going to work is not always an easy thing to do. And when it involves stress, it involves, the great risk of bodily harm. You want to know that you're going to show up every single day at a place where you actually want to go, teammates that you want to be around that have the same goals that you have, and that is ultimately winning a championship. And so all of that, the culture, winning, all of those different things will attract free agents. And if you are in a place where, one, you want to go play for a coach like Dan Campbell or the assistant coaches that are former players that get what you're going through, but you also have that added, bonus of, hey, you're a team on the rise, you're a team that is winning, that is certainly somewhere that will attract free agents.
The cynic would say, they just care about where they get the most money. The money in these free agent, if between one or two teams, is usually pretty similar.
Yes, it's very similar, and sometimes it's how it's structured. But you also want to go to a coach that is going to shoot you straight. And a lot of people they'll fall for the smoke blowing up your backside, and hey, it all is nice and dandy until it's your time to be cut. And if you're the last man on the roster, but you think, hey, you're safe and all this stuff, but a coach comes and tells you, and Marty Schottenheimer, this is why I loved Marty Schottenheimer. He would flat out tell guys, I love you. I think there's a place in the league. It's just not here. And you're not going into that last cut thinking, oh, I'm gonna be on this team. He was flat out honest, brutally honest with everyone, and players really appreciate that. I see a lot of that in Dan Campbell. Brutally honest when they come in. We didn't see everything in Hard Knocks, but we saw some hard conversations.
Yeah.
And he is brutally honest. Guys want to play for a coach who's going to shoot you straight.
Our telephone number is 248-539-9797. That coach who shoots everyone straight will join us at 7:50. It's Stoney and Jansen program, 97.1 The Ticket.
Hey, you want to get away, relax, and just simply have a good time? Well, get to the D Las Vegas. It's a great time at downtown Las Vegas. You've got Fremont Street. You've got the D. There's so much going on, and the D is taking all the necessary precautions to make sure your stay is safe and you can enjoy all the comforts of a high-end Las Vegas hotel without missing out on any of the high gaming energy and nightlife that you want. And remember, if you want a great steak, the best one in Vegas, it's right there at Andiamo Steakhouse. I mentioned walking down Fremont Street. You wanted something a bit more casual at that time? You've got two options. You've got the D Grill, American Coney Island. At the D Las Vegas, the staff can set you up with a round of golf, or you can party all night at the Long Bar. So get a group together and get to the D Las Vegas. Book a room at thed.com. That's thed.com. Or if you're staying on the Strip, make sure you put the D Las Vegas in downtown Vegas on your agenda. The D Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by Henry Ford College. Looking at a quiet drive with lighter traffic volumes and no reported accidents. Just a little slow through that work zone. 94 westbound approaching 696. Looking for a career-focused education in 2 years or less? At Henry Ford College, their 1-year and 2-year programs keep you ready for big things. They also offer 4-year options like culinary school and dozens of transfer programs. Get ready for your future at Henry Ford College. Visit hfcc.edu. I'm Michelle Pendia with traffic.
Unparalleled insight and opinions for all of the weekend NFL action. Kick off with Boomer and Valenti Sunday mornings at 9 on 97.1 The Ticket.
Bob Lawson, business manager for Coletta Motorsports, uses applied innovation for network and IT support and much more.
So they maintain and keep us connected through a lot of our internet technology programming that we need. If we're looking to add equipment or something like that, we work through them to do so.
Why choose applied innovation for Coletta Air, Coletta Charters, and Coletta Motorsports, which together employs over 4,000 people?
The beauty of their organization is just like our owner, Connie Coletta. John Lowry developed and built applied innovation with his own two hands. And they're both family-owned businesses, and family to our owners extremely important.
You believe strongly in supporting the local communities you serve, as does Applied Innovation.
Well, I think that goes back to the philosophies of the family-owned businesses, and that mirrors the philosophy that Applied Innovation has.
Applied Innovation. Call today, 800-521-0983, or visit appliedinnovation.com.
The sounds of the key to go. Sounds like it's brought to you by Bill Brown Ford. If the Brown Ford family wants to wish you and yours a happy holiday season, we're thankful for our community for making us the #1 Ford dealership in the country. Bill Brown Ford, delivering joy this holiday season. Shop our True View inventory at BillBrownFord.com today. Ford dealers based on Ford View retail sales report for 2021. 97.1 The Ticket in Beaumont Student Heart Check Program provides a healthy heart check for students whose families might not otherwise be able to afford it. Go to 971theticket.com, search for Student Heart Check, and help make a difference in our community.
You're the one who protects the block, and that requires eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Grainger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, this is Kenan Thompson. I have a problem with you. Yes, you. None of y'all told me that Auto Trader has millions of new and used cars that I can shop from home. I thought we were friends. I put smiles on your face, but I'm not smiling. No one told me that with Auto Trader, a dealer can deliver cars to my home, or that I can shop by price on Auto Trader. No one. Consider this friendship that you just learned we had officially over. Finally, it's easy. Auto Trader.
Dell Technologies' Days of Deals for Business start now with fresh, limited quantity deals on tech to drive productivity. Save on select performance laptops and desktops powered by 12th Gen Intel Core processors. Don't forget special pricing on the latest monitors, docks, and accessories, plus free shipping on everything, and special financing with Dell Business Credit. Call a Dell Technologies advisor at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
When temperatures drop, COVID-19 cases may rise. So if you test positive and are at high risk, act fast. Even if your symptoms feel mild, ask your provider if an authorized oral treatment could be right for you. Visit treatcovid19.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Transform entire family into the Ranger of Grand Symphony Orchestra live in concert tape shows December 29th. Millions of is their must-see holiday event of the season. Tickets on sale now at LiveNation.com. Don't miss trends like Derby Orchestra, the Roots of Christmas Eve, the best of DSO, and more. Let your voice be heard. Call the G Las Vegas 97.1 The Tickets to get live at 248-539-9797. Las Vegas, your home for Detroit sports in Vegas. The latest news and information on the Big Ten on the Five Star Zone podcast with Rick O'Bears. Get it on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Tony and Jensen.
Adrian, over the Arizona Cardinals last night, Monday Night Football, 27-13. The big story of the game, Kyler Murray tears his ACL. Not definite, but that's what it appears, on the third play of the game. So, when it happened in this season, it looks very doubtful that he'll be able to play much of next year. So So there's a team who's looking for a quarterback probably. They might be looking for a head coach as well. Speaking of injuries, Pistons got some bad news, but not surprising news. They decided that Kate Cunningham rest was not working. He will undergo surgery for a stress fracture in his left shin. Kate was averaging almost 20 points a game.
Let's go to
Not
circuit.
shooting great. And they played 12 games this season. And we finished, so good at the end of last year. And he had a stretch right before he aggravated the injury this year. He was really good. He had like 5 or 6 great games. And then he got hurt and hadn't played. And it sucks, but you know what? Get used to the name Victor Wembanyama, because that's the guy who everybody in the NBA wants. A 7'4" freak. Mm-hmm. Generational player, they say. So hopefully lottery luck will help the Pistons throughout this upcoming lottery and then the season, because I don't see them anywhere. I mean, they were a bottom feeder, so to speak, with Kate Cunningham. They're not going to get any better without him. Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going through a rough time right now. They still lead that pathetic NFC South, but their record stinks.
Yeah, they're not playing good.
They're 6-7, right?
And they've had a number of injuries, key injuries, but they have a number of their stars not playing to the level that you would expect. A lot of drops by receivers. So, and I think you saw some of the frustrations from Tom Brady on, when they took the field this past weekend, some of the interceptions. Like he threw the one interception across the middle, which is not a pass that you normally see, and he's only got 5 on the season, so it's not like it's an epidemic.
I heard him talking. He blamed himself. He said he missed Mike Evans wide open in the end zone.
Yeah.
Look, statistically, he's not having a horrible year. I mean, 17 touchdowns and 5 interceptions, but he's not the same as he was even last year.
No, he's not the same, but he's still one of the top 5 quarterbacks, at least in terms of statistics.
He's still good, but he just doesn't look like he has it.
I heard something that he's actually getting rid of the ball faster than he was last year. It's the offensive line.
Yeah,
the offensive line. He does not have the time that he normally has, and he needs the time. And he's getting rid of the ball because he's not going to take sacks.
Yeah.
Is it time for him to say, you know what? I've accomplished everything I could possibly accomplish. I've won, 6 Super Bowls in one place, proved everybody wrong, won in another place. It's time for me to step down. And I'm not talking about, he doesn't have to worry about his legacy. That's for fans and media, because I always think we worry about that stuff more than the actual players.
Yeah.
But when a high grade athlete does not play at the level that they're used to, and he's not, look, he's still good, but he's starting to decline a little bit. Sometimes they feel, you know what, if I can't beat Tom Brady anymore, why bother?
Well, it's the allure of the competition. And there's so much about the game that you don't want to give up. And this is, something that he's approaching. He's been a pro almost half of his entire life.
Yeah.
And the fact that this is what he knows, getting outside of competition, getting outside of preparing for a season, getting outside of the locker room and not having that relationship with the guys. That's not like you're not friends anymore, but there's something special about the conversations and the environment of the locker room and a team that you don't ever get back. You just don't.
Do you think if he has a good offensive line that he can still get you all the way there?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Okay. It ain't going to happen here. All right? Although this is the year to cut him. The Lions have money. I would never do it. I don't think it fits what's going on here, because the Lions do have the offensive line.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's the 49ers.
Right.
It is. He will be a San Francisco 49er next year.
Good.
There are so many quarterback problems in this league. We've been talking about this after the Kyler Murray injury last night. You can argue that there's 10 NFC teams that have significant quarterback issues going into next year.
Yeah.
That's throwing in a potential Matthew Stafford retirement, which is there's rumblings of that. Do you think, why wouldn't they do it?
Let me ask you a question. Hypothetically.
Turn blinker on with your ring.
let's say Purdy, what we saw Sunday is he might not be that good, but obviously he can be really good. And let's say they do really well, even maybe get to the Super Bowl or win a couple playoff games with Brock Purdy. Why, if you're San Francisco, would you even do that? Why would you spend the money when you have a guy on basically a rookie contract who shows with the parts you have around can take you to the Super Bowl? Why are you getting Tom Brady?
Okay, let me ask you this.
That's hypothetical.
If you won a championship in 2012, you're the Baltimore Ravens, and you had Joe Flacco hitting free agency. Okay, he was cheap then. The Baltimore Ravens, if they had the ability to acquire Tom Brady, and I would say you got to make him 45-year-old Tom Brady, you would acquire Tom Brady. That's my point on that. I'm sorry, it is. I still think in the right situation, he's got probably a year or two left. I don't see the demise of arm strength that you saw in Brady and Breeze. So
here's where the 49ers, and I tell you what, after Heather's news, I'm going to tell you why the Niners might want to do this.
All right, here's Heather.
So it was a rather uncomfortable appearance for Elon Musk at Dave Chappelle's show with Chris Rock on Sunday night. So while he was performing in San Francisco, Chappelle invited Musk up onto stage as kind of like a special guest, and he was met with a chorus of boos. Tons of people were booing. Witnesses say that it went on for about a good 10 minutes. Here's a little clip of kind of what it sounded like to be there.
Make some noise for the richest man in the world. Cheers and boos, I think. It sounds like some of them history fire in the audience.
So there were some cheers too. You could hear people cheering and clapping. He took it like a champ. I mean, what are you going to do when you're up on stage like that? You know, he handled it. And as you heard, Chappelle kind of cracked a few jokes to kind of drown out the noise there. Later on, after the show, Musk did tweet that 90% of the crowd was cheering and only 10% were booing. Somebody did respond to that and say, I think it was a little more than that. But either way, a little kind of awkward appearance for sure. Police are looking for suspects that targeted an off-duty Detroit police officer in a road rage shooting on Monday. According to officials, the off-duty police officer was allegedly fired at when she was at her car near Livernois and Davison Street. Police really aren't releasing a whole lot of information, so it's kind of like, I've read a couple articles, but they're very, very vague on what went on. But those who live near the scene say that they woke up to a number of police near their homes. There's one resident, Karen Walker, who shared her story about this road rage shooting.
It wasn't until my neighbors start calling my son who lives on the block, and they start calling the neighbors saying, call your mom and see what's going on. But other than that, I don't hear anything. I really don't know until I look out the window.
Nobody knows what's going on. It sounds like officers did spend hours investigating, but the other driver who fired at the off-duty police officer is still on the loose. Channel 4 host and anchor Jason Carr has been fired from his job after he criticized his coworkers during a Jason Carr live segment on December 6th. He's been at the station since 2016, but his bio no longer appears on the Local 4 staff page. We haven't heard from him yet, or really a statement from the channel to really hear exactly what happened, but apparently he was not very happy with his coworkers or the station management. Some great news. I'm sure everybody knows if you've been driving and getting gas. Gas prices have dropped another 19 cents in Metro Detroit to an average of $3.10. Overall, gas prices in the state are 85 cents less than this time last month, about 4 cents higher than this time last year, which
you can handle that.
It's not that bad. Unfortunately, though, enjoy it while it's here.
Oh, yeah, because it's the holiday season, so they'll jack it up.
Well, it is, but that's not what I'm about to say. Gas Buddy says that there was an oil spill from the Keystone Pipeline last week that could have an effect on Midwest refineries, which could also then see an increase in prices. But, hey, I'll take it. I'll take it.
I was in Philly over the weekend, and gas prices are about 20 cents more there than they were here.
Finally, we are 12 days from Christmas.
Oh.
Woohoo! And every year,
First day of Christmas.
that's exactly where it
That's where it started, yeah.
PNC Bank does an annual study on how much it would cost to buy everything from the 12 Days of Christmas song. This year, the annual report estimates the total cost is $45,000, well, $45,523.
Wow.
And it's up 10.5% from last year.
Oh, inflation. Let me tell you, the partridge market has really gone up.
Well,
Yes. Well, how
not
about the
the
pear
partridge.
tree?
It's the pear tree. The
Yeah.
partridge, they say, is exactly the same cost as last year, but fertilizers are up. So the pear tree actually costs more this year than it did last year. It actually costs 26% more this year than last year.
Wow.
These prices, though, are pretty crazy. I think that you could really save money depending on where you find these people.
Go to Amazon for your pear trees.
I mean, 10 Lords of Leaping, they say, is the most expensive gift on the list, $13,980. And it's based on how much it would cost to hire 10 dancers from the Philadelphia Ballet.
I'll say, you know what? Don't use the Philadelphia Ballet. Use
Yeah.
like the Peoria
Right? Like,
Ballet.
yeah,
you know?
you could probably get that at 9 ladies dancing.
Yeah.
$8,308. Come on. I think you could.
You can get that for 8 singles.
Hey, that 8 Mile. Exactly. All right. Thank you very much, Heather. Dan Campbell.
Saving your money in the new year.
Dan Campbell at 750. 97 1 to 10.
All right, guys, don't blow it this holiday season. As we just talked about, there's only 12 days until Christmas. So give your special lady the next best thing to wearing nothing at all with soft, silky, naturally nude pajamas available exclusively at Pajamagram. Sensuous and smooth, naturally nude pajamas feel just like her own soft skin. Even more alluring than lingerie, the texture and touch of these pajamas is so seductive you'll both love the feel of them. Leave nothing to the imagination with naturally nude pajamas. And best of all, Pajamagram does the wrapping for you with free gift packaging. Order today, and Pajamagram will also include a free matching naturally nude nightie with the purchase of naturally nude pajamas. That's free gift packaging and a free naturally nude nightie when you order today. But I'm telling you, you want to order now because last year they sold out before Christmas. It's the easiest gift you can buy. Go to pajamagram.com right now. That's pajamagram.com to order naturally nude pajamas and make sure to tell them Carter sent you. Secret with BetQL. Sometimes in hockey it pays the faded team on the puck line. This year, that team is the New York Rangers. The Rangers score about as much as they give up, which means the games are usually close. That makes them an ideal team to fade on the puck line, and in fact, they are just 8-18 this season against the spread. As they're basically a 500 team, I don't see this trend changing in the future. Fade the Rangers, and thank you later. I'm Tristan Crick, helping you.
You're the one who protects the block, and that requires an eye for detail. Because when safety and well-being are on the line, it's the details that can save lives. Even when no one else is watching, you see everything. Granger gets you, and we're here for you, and all the ones who get it done with a wide range of safety products and solutions, plus board-certified safety consultants here to answer your questions. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
By the time you're finished listening to this Pepsi Zero Sugar, you'll be 15 seconds closer to kickoff. Stock up now because game day is so close you can almost taste it. Football watching, dinner with Pepsi.
If you run a small business, you need the most from every investment. That's why Comcast Business gives you more. Like more innovation with our new gig speed Wi-Fi, plus unlimited data. More speed than the largest, fastest, reliable network for small businesses. And more savings, up to 60% a year with Comcast Business Mobile. All from the company that powers more businesses than any other provider. When you need more, you need Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Get started with internet and advanced security for just $40 per month for 12 months with no annual contract when you add mobile. Plus, ask her to get a $750 prepaid card with a qualifying gig bundle. Ends 1/1/2023. Restrictions apply. Actual speed varies. Compare pricing of top carriers. Requires Google and AutoPay. Comcast Business Internet required. New Comcast Business 100 megabits per second internet and security and customers only. Including taxes and other fees extra and subject to change. Must add mobile within 90 days of internet install and keep services for 12 months for discount. Results vary. Not an endorsement.
Hi friends, Bill Golly here telling you about our Big Finish sales event. But it all ends soon at Golly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram. We have a number of great lease incentives going on all month long. For example, qualified Chrysler employees can lease a 2023 Jeep Grand Cherokee L Limited 4x4 for just $399 a month. Leases for 24 months, 10,000 miles a year with $2,000 down. For the finest of sales, service, and selection, come experience the Golly difference at Golly Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Bloomfield Hills, Chelsea, Roseville, and online at golly.com.
Kansas City Steak Company, another AmericanEagle.com success story. Started in 1932 as a family-owned butcher shop, today they're a leading distributor of superior all-American steaks delivered right to your door, great for the grill and your taste buds. When it came to their website, an average site wouldn't do. They chose AmericanEagle.com to take their website to the next level. With a dramatic increase in competition and a softening market demand, they had two challenges: improve their brand presence and message, and produce a positive return. AmericanEagle.com got to work and executed usability studies and detailed audits of site experience, digital assets, and marketing. Results: an integrated digital marketing and customer experience plan, organic traffic increase of 20%, and a long-term roadmap for success. If you love great steaks, go to KansasCitySteaks.com for website design, development, and online solutions that bring efficiency and results. Visit AmericanEagle.com. If you need a results-driven website, call the team at AmericanEagle.com at 877-WEB-NOW1. That's 877-WEB-NOW1.
This hour of instant feedback brought to you by Michael Perro of National Benefit Plan. For affordable health insurance, call 877-734-2200.
Doesn't sound like Indiana Jones or Spain.
Carolina Hurricanes. Pre-game tonight at 6:45 on 97.1 The Ticket. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
248-539-9797 is the telephone number. Dan Campbell scheduled to join us right around 7:50. We were discussing Tom Brady and is it time for him to retire from football and take his low-paying Fox job next year?
Really? It's not like he doesn't have something to go to.
I know.
But it's different.
Now, you said you're the reason why you think.
I still think he's going to play next year, and it's that drive for another championship. Even though he has 7 Super Bowl rings, he's been in the Super Bowl a number of times. He still has that drive to be the best at what he does, and given the right team around him. Now, it's not like 15 years ago where he could do more of it on his own and he could make things happen. He could still do that. We've seen it, at the end of the game, being able to come back from 13 down in the last 3 minutes of a game to be able to win. He needs more around him, but it doesn't mean he can't still be one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. I think he believes that, and he believes that he wants another Super Bowl. He wants a shot at another one.
Okay, so hypothetically, where do you think is the best fit for him, where he would be in a situation where he could lead a team to at least the playoffs or the Super Bowl?
Well, I'll start with the one that you guys just talked about, San Francisco. I mean, that he grew up 30 minutes from the stadium. Last week we heard all about it. It's the second time he's been back. So it's an amazing stat too that as long as he's played, he's only played there 2 times.
Right.
But the issue is, we talked about this a little bit at one of the breaks. How does he end up in San Francisco? Because Tampa Bay, if they're smart, which I believe they will be smart enough, they're not just going to let him walk in free agency. They can franchise tag him. There's a number of different things they can do, a sign and trade sort of deal, and that's where things get complicated in going to.
You franchise a guy who's 45 years old.
Well,
even though it's only for 1 year.
It's 1 year, and the whole deal is they're trying to make sure that they get something for him. Because what does Tampa Bay have without Tom Brady at quarterback?
I know right now they got Gabbard and Kyle Trask. So
nothing. Right. So that's why I'm saying I'm not saying it's the only option. It's an option. It would be a sign and trade. And if they go that route, yeah, they could just let him walk, because you're right. You don't want to franchise a quarterback.
Well, I don't want to interrupt you, but how many sign and trades are there in football? the NBA, they have it all the time. You very
I
rarely
think
see a
it's
sign
Brad
of
was
trade.
behind us with this draft.
You an option.
Okay.
Thinking the
Right.
draft was
And
sitting
so
in
if
the
they
front
don't
seat.
want to try the quarterback less, and they're okay with, hey, if we do franchise him and he's here, that's ideal. They're going to get healthier next year. They're going to have their offensive line back. They could, try and put together another run in a Super Bowl.
Right.
But if they also want to get something in return, the problem, if they do this route, is San Francisco doesn't have anything to give up. Other than, you can give up Brock Purdy, but we're talking about a kid that's had one game.
Right.
And they don't have any draft picks. They've already given all of those up, whether it was for Trey Lance or whether it was for Christian McCaffrey.
Trying to get on the
Draft
freeway.
capital to give up.
What's Garoppolo's contract status?
1 year.
I think he's a free agent.
Yeah, he's a free
Okay,
agent.
so
Yeah,
he's a
when
free
they redid his contract to come back, it's a 1 year deal, so he's a free agent. And if he were to end up, say they just said, you know what, Tom Brady, appreciate it, thanks for the Super Bowl. We don't want to take the risk of having to pay you a franchise dollar amount.
Right.
We're just going to let you walk. We'll figure out what we're going to do with our quarterback. Then it becomes a possibility. And what San Francisco does is obviously Jimmy G walks, right? They don't care about that.
You got upstaged by Brady again.
Right, but now you have Trey Lance, who, what's the knock on Trey Lance? Is he has little to no experience.
Right.
So why not bring in the GOAT and let Trey Lance learn from the best?
Trey Lance might not even beat out Brock Purdy, though.
But I'm just,
right?
There's a lot of, okay, this doesn't work, or we're just talking about a hypothetical situation. So, yeah, he might not bring out Brock Purdy, but he also might. They put in a lot of resources into trading up to get Trey Lance. And Trey Lance, Brock Purdy are your number 2, number 3. And you can figure that however you want. Maybe Brock Purdy's number 3, whatever. Brock Purdy or Trey Lance, they both get a chance to learn behind Tom Brady, where you've got an offensive line, you've got the skilled players, you certainly have a defense. You go out there and you spend whatever money you need to get Tom Brady there, and he probably will give them a little bit of a hometown discount because he just wants to go home and play in front of his mom and dad.
Well, let me give you a few other teams. Okay, one probably on one side. The New Orleans Saints have a really, really good defense. He could definitely help that team. There's no doubt about it.
Yeah.
There's one.
Well, you've got a Kamara question mark next year.
That's true, too. The other one, and we mentioned this briefly, that there's rumblings that a certain former Detroit Lion quarterback might retire. You put Tom Brady with the Rams, if they're healthy, for 1 year.
Their offensive line is poor
right now, but
it's worse than the Buccaneers.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers at least have Jensen, their center, come back.
I mean, that's the reason to stay.
Yeah, those guys will eventually recover from injury, whereas the Rams, they don't have an offensive line. They have bodies, they have more bodies, but Tom Brady's looking for more than 4 bodies.
Free agencies. But just because I think they might get a quarter,
they're not doing well in regards to selling. They're still might be a quarterback. List sort of almost any NFC team from a location.
We're just back to Brock Purdy. It's going to be so fascinating to watch this play.
Yeah.
How much of it is because of the Niners? He has success. It's the Niners roster. Your boy, Greg Cosell, that he wasn't regarded as a good prospect, but when he came into the game, it didn't look too fast for him. That's huge for a young guy. It's so fast for so many young quarterbacks.
He was so much better his junior year than he was his senior year.
Well, is it not only the players around him that help, the offensive line giving him time, it's the guys around him, but it's also the system, Kyle Shanahan, and the way that he constructed a game plan for him.
Right, that's why if he does well in the playoffs, they might not keep the quarterback. All right, Dan Campbell. He doesn't need a quarterback right now. That's for damn sure. We'll talk to him coming up next. 97.
Hey, if you're looking for a weight loss program that really works, you got to call Ideal You today. Ideal You works fast. I know because I lost 50 pounds in 40 days. So it works for me. I know it can work for you. Ideal You is the only way to lose weight. You're going to eat the real food, and especially if you like steak, chicken, fish, a lot of protein, and real healthy, fruits and vegetables. This is the program for you. You don't lose water weight, you lose body fat, and that's weight loss that lasts. In fact, you lose up to 40 pounds yesterday. I lost 10 pounds in the first 7 days. So it encouraged me. It kept me going. I got real results quickly. Ideal U has changed my life. It can change yours as well. Go to idealu.us now, and 10 days from now, you can be 10 pounds lighter. Change your life for the better. Go to idealu.us today. 97.1 on ticket. Traffic.
This report brought to you by NECA IVEW Local 58. 94 eastbound the ramp to North 75. There's a crash affecting that left shoulder. 94 westbound traffic a little slow from just before Little Mac to 696 as you head into the work zone. Also a little heavy this morning. M53 Van Dyke Freeway southbound from 24 to 22 mile. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors and IVEW electricians to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. Productivity and innovation matter. Learn more at poweringmichigansfuture.com. I'm Michelle Pena with traffic.
The Detroit Pistons play the Charlotte Hornets. Pre-game tomorrow night at 6:35 on News Radio 950 WWJ.
This Odyssey Sportsman is brought to you by National Benefit Plans.
This is Boomer Esiason with an Odyssey Sports Minute. Could Detroit become the first team to overcome a 1-6 start and reach the postseason? Their schedule is favorable. Jared Goff is having his best year. He has an elite offensive line, quality running backs, and explosive wideouts. So if Dan Campbell's team can get past the Jets this Sunday, I think they'll be playoff bound, folks. That would be unthinkable 7 weeks ago. What a story this would be. I'm Boomer Esiason.
It's game day at Jake's house, and the spread is impressive. Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza. I sure hope he brought the Pepto. Mike knows that Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie. But when he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol. When you have nausea, hyper, indigestion, losing stomach, diarrhea. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
At Lowe's, every pro is an MVP to us. That's why MVP's Pro Rewards members can earn bonus points on select products and brands like Power Pro, Weehawk, and Valspar. Then redeem your bonus points for exciting rewards like tools, sports memorabilia, Lowe's e-gift cards, and more. Join Lowe's MVP's Pro Rewards today to start earning. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts, if any. Subject to program terms. While supplies last. Points expire at end of calendar June. Visit Lowe's.com/L/ProLoads for terms and details. Now through 1/8/23.
Fall is just around the corner, and you know what comes with that. One of the greatest sports ever. I'm talking about football. All the professional teams and college teams make this the most exciting sport to watch. From the first snap of the game, you're hooked. Every pass, every play, every interception keeps you wanting more. We jump up and cheer as loud as we can every time our team scores a touchdown. There's nothing better. So sit back and enjoy the best time of the year. So throw that burger or dog on the grill and tailgate with your friends to celebrate the greatest sport created, football.
Get your weekend started with a brand new Chevy from your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Whether you're north, south, east, or west, your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers are in your neighborhood. From their impressive family of SUVs